It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
And we just finished up our gift-giving guide for the bourbon lover and whiskey lover in your life. But one thing that we didn't put on there, Sarah, was events.
Right, like experiences. We go to a lot of bourbon festivals throughout the year. You know, we do the New Orleans Bourbon Festival every year, Kentucky Bourbon Fest, there's Bourbon Classic, and one of the ones that we did this year was the St. Louis Bourbon Fest. And we thought, you know, it might be worth mentioning before the holidays that could be a good gift idea, a little trip, a little getaway.
It's never too soon to start planning for next year when it comes to experiences. So in this episode, we're going to be bringing you the 5 best bourbons that we tried at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival. Well, I should say whiskeys because they're not all bourbons, Sarah. Now, you know, of course, a little disclaimer, we didn't get to try everything.
It would be impossible.
Yeah, so this is just our personal one. So if you were there and you were like, I can't believe you guys didn't talk about XYZ, be like, well, we probably didn't have it.
But you can still tell us in the comments so that next time we can try it.
Yeah, so we make sure we
We'll be
won't
on the
miss
lookout.
XYZ, which is a weird name for a whiskey company, but what are you gonna do? But before we get into the list, we want to thank today's sponsor, which is Zbiotics.
As we're heading into the holiday season, we have plenty of events. We're coming out of plenty of events like all those bourbon festivals we talked about. And Zbiotics helps us feel our best the next day after a day of festivities.
Pre-alcohol is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic.
It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking.
When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut.
It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day.
Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down.
Just remember to drink this probiotic before drinking alcohol, drink responsibly, and get a good night's sleep to feel your best tomorrow.
With all the holiday events from Thanksgiving to New Year's Eve, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for imbibing, but don't let all those holiday parties leave you less than merry.
So stay in the loop and go to zbiotics.com/bourbonnight or scan the QR code on screen for 15% off your first order at checkout with code bourbonnight.
You can also use our link to sign up for a subscription so you can be prepared no matter the time or occasion.
Zbiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied, they'll refund you, no questions asked.
Remember to go to zbiotics.com/bourbonnight to get 15% off your first order when you use code bourbonnight at checkout.
Thanks to Zbiotics for sponsoring this episode. All right, Chad, let's get into this list.
The first thing we did was we went to the VIP areas, as one tends to do.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could fault anyone else for that. You know, expect that they'll run out of whatever the special thing that they brought, so we wanted to see what they had to offer.
Yeah, and there was a couple different VIP areas. The first one we went to was in like the second or third floor of one of the first buildings when you come into the campus there.
So one side was sponsored by Barrel King, and the other side was sponsored by Sazerac, so Buffalo Trace 1792, and we decided to go in there first just to see what was going on.
You know, they had some good stuff.
A lot of their core products.
Right, core products, some special things.
Some cocktails. There was a little mini bar in there. They were whipping up some cocktails. The line was quite long.
So we went for things that normally we can't find as easily. So we saw Stag, formerly Junior, and that happened to be a pick that was done for the festival. As far as Stags go, it's really awesome. So we're yeah. Later, after we migrated over to Barrel King, we ended up having something that
it quickly dethroned this Stag Junior.
I was gonna say
Stag.
Usurped. That's what I get for trying to use big words. But the Barrel King setup was nice. They had different components there. Remember the tasting mat?
Yeah, you could do like a blend.
Yeah, that was neat. But it was actually a pick, batch 93 from Backyard Barbecue and the Backstoppers that we had there in the hallway.
We did.
Of VIP, and well, here's me trying it.
116.3 proof. All right.
And it's actually finished in Legend Crate 23 barrels.
Oh.
For several months. So that's what Jared Holmes Barrel King is known for, finishing barrels. You know, Stag barrels, Weller, Purple Top, whatever he gets his hands on. It's MGP juice. This one is high rye.
Oh yeah. I can taste a distinct hint of Elijah Craig 23 here.
Or at least your memory does, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Suggestive drinking.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really great. We don't have that particular pick, but hey, it's still for sale. I checked today, along with our Barrel King pick that we did not have at the time that we're up there, but Game of Barrels is ours. These are both available actually at barrelking.com. So since we don't have that batch 93, I thought maybe we'd do a little sippity sip on our barrel.
That sounds great. I don't want to say put the Stag to shame, but it was no contest when we tried those side by side.
Double barreled, and it is an 11-year. It's 107.4 proof.
Love that.
The people who have bought this bottle, we've gotten a lot of compliments from them.
I'm really happy with it.
Text messages, yeah. So.
Oh, that nose. Ooh, it gives me a little chill.
This is pretty reminiscent from what I remember of that batch 93. Of course, they're different, but very reminiscent. Yeah, okay, to your health.
Rich, oaky, viscous, dark chocolate, little baking spice. It's got some oomph with it with that 107.4 proof, I think, is what you said, but it's not overpowering. It's not like...
Yeah, no.
It sits real nice.
Rather good.
This is delightful. If you want to try it for yourself, we'll put the link down in the description along with the password to access this page and where you'll also find the batch 93 that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Now, after we left Barrel King and Sazerac area, where we ran into Matt Porter, of course, ADHD Whiskey, right? Saw Matt there. That was great.
So many
Always
good
great
friends.
to see Matt. We went down and headed more towards the Limp Mansion, which is haunted, by the way. Go see our spirits hunting episode a couple years ago when we first went to the St. Louis Bourbon Festival.
I think it's worth a watch.
For that, yeah. More on that at the end, actually. There was the Jim Beam and some other areas out in like a tinted area outside of the mansion. So we did go to the Jim Beam tent where they had some of the Knob Creek 18-year batch
got a taste
3.
of that.
That was great. But the one that we were most excited about
And really stood out to us.
was the Old Granddad 16-year. Now, one thing we didn't say about the Barrel King is it's $149.99. I wanted to put the prices out there on these things.
I mean, I would expect the best things that we had at a festival during, especially the VIP areas, would be, something that you might not normally spend that much money on.
We do have a value mention here in just a second.
Stick around for that.
This guy we ended up buying at the distillery for $200 plus tax. So
We did what?
It's not cheap. Also, and again, sorry for some of these being kind of up there, but I guess I need a clean Glencairn. There we go. Beam Suntory, who also owns Maker's Mark, they were there. I want to say they had the...
They had the cellar aged.
Cellar aged.
But we missed it. It was already gone by the time we got there.
Hence, plan out your route when you get there.
Highly recommend.
The places that are most important to you.
Honestly, for any festival, like if you are considering booking one for 2025, do a little bit of research ahead of time, see what brands are going to be there, and then kind of make mental notes of the places you want to start first, especially if you do, pay for that extra VIP, either time or access. If you want to spend the money, you should probably try to get your money's worth. I would recommend it.
So Old Granddad, 16-year, the oldest Old Granddad mash bill I think that we've had, and it is 100 proof, I do believe. Yep. So this is their higher rye mash bill that Jim Beam or James Beam makes.
That's lovely.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it?
It's so comfy, cozy, like outdoorsy a little bit, woodsy, other Z's.
Sarah, I think you're gonna like this one because it's not just an oak bomb. It's not like the Knob Creek 18-year. It's not like some of the Hardin's Creeks.
No.
That we've had.
It is oaky, but
it is.
It also has like a butterscotch note to it.
Yeah.
Butterscotch, brown sugar, kind of vanilla. It has some other things to balance out that oak. It's not just straight up oak. Oh, it's delightful. It almost has like a vintagey feel to it. And at $200, I better like it.
Yeah. So, as I said, I did get this at the distillery.
So it's distillery only?
It's not. No. The other day I was in Frankfort, Kentucky, popped into a Kroger Wine and Spirits, and they had a couple in their glass case. It was actually...
Was it a glass case of emotion?
Yes, it was. It was actually a little bit more than $200.
Oh.
I was surprised, because normally...
Usually it's more expensive at the distillery.
The distillery doesn't have the best deals. But this was like $225. And at Kroger, which normally has some of the best prices, so that was surprising. I know a lot of people don't play in the $200 range, but if you do, I think this one's worth it.
I don't think it will disappoint.
No. Okay, so after we left the tent that had several VIP booths out there. Such a weird word.
Booths.
We went into the basement of the Limp Mansion. Not scary at all, Sarah.
Not at all. It's not creepy.
Where we ran into Found North, a company that we haven't had a lot of experience with.
No.
But we tried their batch 10, and it really stood out. Now, this is our one that's not a bourbon. It is a whiskey, not even an American whiskey.
Yeah.
It's made up in our neighbors to the north up there in Canada. But I'm going to have to bring out the phone to remember some of the info.
It's because we don't actually have one of these.
We
on
don't,
hand.
so nothing to drink here. But batch 10 uses a combination of two 23-year-old corn components and a 19-year-old corn component as a foundation of the blend. So you're looking at 19 and 23-year-old whiskey in there, which makes up 66% of the total whiskey. Then they add in some 8-year-old wheat whiskey, along with a 9-year-old malted barley, aged in New American Oak. Now, the total blend is aged in New American Oak and then also used bourbon barrels. So again, this isn't a bourbon, so it's got a lot going on.
There's a lot of moving parts and pieces with that one. But whatever they did, it worked.
Do you remember any of our tasty notes up there?
I don't. Let me look.
Okay, I mean, I can read you
I had some notes.
what the website says. It says it presents, I mean, this is gonna be a lot of marketing speak, right? But
I don't have any tasting.
Okay, the nose promises. It
promises.
The nose promises a melody of vanilla, wafer, toffee, and semi-sweet chocolate chips.
Oh, interesting.
Transporting you to a Sicilian cafe serving
Affogato over coffee gelato. Chad, get cultured.
Bonus on who wrote this.
Yeah, whoever wrote this.
Wow.
Nice work. You really took me there. Vanilla wafer.
Yeah.
That's honestly bringing me back.
It's not even done. The counter melody echoes hints of plum, shortbread, rock candy, and a sweet resonant whisper of orange zest.
A sweet resonant whisper.
Now, I know we're kind of dunking on the distillery, but we did enjoy their stuff.
I'm honestly impressed by that flavor note. A poetry.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
What did it say? A sweet resonant whisper of orange zest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start writing like that.
This person needs to write
practice. This
romance
person needs
novels.
to correct. A sweet resonant whisper. I've never felt wooed by whiskey before. Wooed by whiskey.
Wooed by whiskey. Copyright is Bourbon Night 2024.
I would not wear that shirt.
Wooed by whiskey. I do feel like when I look today, batch 10 is sold out in a lot of places, but it was selling for $140.
Okay.
Which for having a 23 and a 19 and a 8 and a 9.
It's not absurd.
Not absurd, no.
And I gotta say, like, that was our first time interacting with the guys, the reps of Found North there, and they were super welcoming, happy to give us any info that we wanted. We're basically like, you can try anything you want, let us know if you have any questions, and everybody does that, but they were seriously like, what else can we let you try?
Right.
Without us being like, do you know who we are? I don't want to do that. I would never do that. If you ever see me do that, you for permission to just.
Wow. So after Found North, we went to another place in VIP, but we're gonna save that to the end because it was our best of fest, in our opinion.
Twas.
So we're gonna talk about a value that we found out on the street. This was non-VIP, and when the street, I mean out with the booths, between.
Well, yeah.
between the areas, not just on the street.
The General Fest area.
And that was actually Smoke Wagon. It was their Desert Cult. Now it's another bottle that we don't have to drink here, unfortunately.
No.
But it was full strength, 58.35%.
116.7
proof. Ooh, we got there.
I need a calculator on the screen. Boop, 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 boop.
We did try it there. We were impressed by it, especially for the price.
For the price at $40 a bottle.
$40 a bottle.
For a full strength. And they
tasted as it did.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, not obviously, like, it would be exciting if it could knock out one of these higher priced, super premium ones that we've been talking about before. It didn't knock them out, but it sure did make a name for itself. I mean, it stuck in our minds. And what was really cool is that at their booth, they also had a glow-in-the-dark label, which just got me all excited. I was playing with it the whole time. It was so fun.
So I was carrying around a little battery-powered light because, once the sun goes down, it gets kind of dark there for video.
When the sun goes down, it gets dark?
Write that down, everyone.
Did you know?
So I was like charging the label with my light.
With the light, yeah. You have to like charge it And then
you know
pull
how
it away.
glow-in-the-dark
How
stuff
glow in the
works.
dark stuff works. Come on, get with
But
it.
that was really good. Then a little bit down from Smoke Wagon was Augusta, and we do have something to drink on for that. So again, this was not in VIP. This is the Old Root 8 single barrel. This is an 8-year. Our particular one here in our bottle is 123.2 proof. The one that we were trying there, I think, was a different proof. They also had a 10-year Buckner's, but I think we were really on
really
this
on the
one
8.
with
Yeah.
the 8. So this will be a little bit different than what we had there. Now, Sarah, this comes in at 120 bucks. Some people say that's a lot for an 8-year, but it's a single barrel, and their whole thing is finding those single barrels that really stand out. Like if you ever had a really great pick of something, you're like, I would pay
A lot. Or like, people
You
do
know.
barrel picks and then once they're gone, and people will pay more for them
some of them get
after they're, where they go up in value
Yeah.
just because, they're never going to exist again. And so I kind of get that. It has so much just like caramel candy on the nose.
Yeah, I was gonna say caramel. Caramel is the headline.
It's
here.
the headline, which, that's not news for bourbon or whiskey, but it is definitely standing out. It is really good. I love the proof on this. The ones that we've had so far in this episode have been, 11, 16 years?
Yeah, twice
So
as old.
While this is very, very good, it is coming in a third tasting, so it has a little bit of a disadvantage in that, because it just hasn't had as much time to develop those really super complex, balanced flavors, but I still think it's super good. I do think that they're one to watch. Like, if you see a single barrel of this come out in your area, definitely give it a... It's sweet, it's savory, it's good.
It's good. It's good. So best of fest for us, asterisk, the stuff that we had, was from Rare Character, and it was Brook Hill. Now, I was able to get us a little sample of the exact single barrel that we had there at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival, because Chad Watson, who works at Rare Character, is our friend.
You know a Rare Character elf?
Yes. So I sent him a text. I said, hey, here was the age and the proof. Sent him a picture of the bottle, and he was like, let me check. And he found the exact bottle that was at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival. So this is a 10-year. I don't remember the proof. I think maybe you wrote
132.
132 proof. And
Up there.
it's...
It's what? Oh. I think for me, this is like by far the best thing that we had at the, for me.
Well, yeah.
It was
Agreed.
not a competition.
Best of fest.
Now, it doesn't always work out this way, but this bottle, full-size bottle, $250 retail. I would expect that if you're gonna charge that much, you need to be able to back it up, right? It better be good. I mean...
The nose, though.
The nose.
The nose.
Yeah, this is crazy. The nose on this is insane.
Your rich, deep, dark stone fruit, your fig,
cherry.
plum, sorghum, molasses.
I get a lot of oak on there, a little bit of tobacco.
Decent amount of oak for a 10-year.
Like, I have described things in the past, if you watch this channel, as atmospheric, and what I mean by that is sort of it kind of takes you to a time and a place. Even if you've never been there before, it makes you feel like you could be there.
Yeah.
And so for me, this is like at the turn of the century.
Days of yore?
In the days of yore, they would have these big grand dinners and then retire to the whatever lounge room that they were going to be in to have brandies and
cigars
smoke
and
a
brandy.
cigar or whatever, and just like lounge around in these ornate rooms with books and big fancy chairs and stuff. This is what I would imagine that room would smell like. I don't know, I wasn't there and I'll never be there, but this is what I would imagine.
It's like super dark chocolate oaky, like dark chocolate covered cherries.
My goodness. Yeah, leather-bound
So
books,
rich.
tobacco leaf.
Mainly I get a lot of that deep, like that rich cherry and oak, but not in a medicinal way cherry.
Right. I would clock this in at least 12 years just from the nose.
It's-
the amount of oak and leather
It's so
and
good.
tobacco. But here we go.
Stop. Yeah, oak, tobacco,
my goodness.
cherry.
Yeah, all the stuff
super
we said
rich,
on the nose.
So layered.
Wow.
Have we found a contender?
Wow.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. What is, I mean, just like, that's wild. It's super bold, it's very intense, but it's really good. Like a lot of oak. Not past my point though. Super rich dark chocolate, like I said.
So Brook Hill is the top of the top line of
From Rare Character.
Rare Character, and I have to agree that this is one of those. Now this is a single barrel.
Right, and we don't know a lot about it. Like, it's sourced
No.
from where? That's under NDA. A lot of things about it we don't know.
I can tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a George C. Stagg, a William LaRue Weller, like we're talking top tier BTAC type of vibes here.
Yeah, and honestly, like if I were in the market for one of those things, like it's that time of year right now when we're putting out this episode that a lot of people are looking for BTACs and considering, not me, but they are maybe considering spending double, triple, quadruple.
Keep going, Sarah.
Up
5X.
and up and up of what retail is for those bottles just to get one. And if you said, hey, you can have this George T. Stagg for, I don't know, $500 or $600.
$600 to
$700. Or you can have this Brook Hill for $250. Which one are you taking? And I'm taking the Brook Hill all day. If you could find it for $250, that would be a win in my book.
Yeah, and they put out different age statements, so the price is probably going to vary on the age, that type of thing.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Chad. I would put this in our best of the year if I could.
Yeah, obviously we can't because it's a single barrel. It doesn't meet our requirements of, I think we cap it, has to be at least 1,200 bottles or above in a release. But I'm with you. Maybe at the end of the year when we have our winner, we put this up.
From the best of the year,
From the best of the year. We put this up against a blind.
I would love to see that matchup.
And maybe it's like a little fight.
I think it's a fight.
We just have a time of it.
Oh my gosh, we just make them more angry. We take our top 3 best of the year, if there's any left. Because some of them we only have, we have sample bottles and
smaller than that.
If we can take our top 3 and put this in there too and do a fight.
Right, we haven't done that yet, but just from memory of what I've loved this year, I would love to put Russell's 15, Heaven Hill 18, George T. Stagg, and this guy.
Okay, interesting. I don't know what my top...
See how that shakes out.
I think I agree with the Heaven Hill 18. I don't know about the others.
So after the festival closed down, our friends at the St. Louis Bourbon Festival allowed us to go into the Limp Mansion up to the 2nd floor and into that room that...
at our first St. Louis Bourbon Festival in 2022.
Yeah, so 2 years ago. So we learned about the history of the Limp Mansion. There was a lot of tragedy in that family, a lot of suicide, a lot of death. There's this one room in the 2nd floor that has had the most reported paranormal activity. That's the year, or that's the room that 2 years ago we had a incident. Let's just play the clip. Roll the clip.
So when we first walked in here today, I didn't want to say anything because I thought like it must be in my head because I don't really buy into all this stuff. But I was like, man, my chest feels kind of heavy. Like, why does my chest feel? Do you hear that? It was a chain rattling. Did you not hear that? Anyways, so when we first got here earlier, I was like, man, my chest feels heavy, but I don't want to say anything because that's probably just a placebo effect. I still hear it.
I heard that.
Okay,
oh God,
I still hear it. I still hear it.
I heard that.
Oh my God, I'm scared. You hear it, right?
I know, I heard it. But
You
go
hear
ahead.
it, right?
Go ahead.
Oh my God, I gotta get out of this room.
Go ahead.
Something's in there. No!
We wanted to go back to that room.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. And do a little bit more investigating. So this time.
Thanks to the Fest fam for making that happen.
Absolutely.
There it is.
What are you doing?
Voice memos. So I'm going to start a voice memo. We're going to put it in the bathroom here where 2 years ago we heard a disturbance. This time we're going to have some footage or some audio.
Now, unfortunately, you know us, we get a little chatty, especially after some bourbon. So we're talking in the background.
We shouldn't have been doing that.
Also, this year, I think they had a window open in the bathroom, so you hear some street noise. So not ideal situation.
Right.
But at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, we didn't hear this live. We didn't hear this when we were there. But listening back, check this out. We say this because 2 years ago, you heard what sounded like shower rings on a shower rod.
Like shower curtain
rings on a rod.
Clink, 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 like up and down, clink, 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 like that. I kept hearing it.
Yeah, so we heard, let's just enhance audio. Play again. So I don't know. Now here's the thing, Sarah. The phone was right there in the bathroom. That sounded a little distant. It would have sounded a lot more, it would have sounded closer if that had been in the bathroom. So this might actually be us debunking. That might have been the pipes making a noise. It might have been someone else, because it wasn't an empty house. There were people staying there. So this might be us
we're not ghost hunters. We don't have the budget to shut it all down.
That myth. right? I don't know. What do you all think?
Do I want to go back and try again for a third time and find out?
I do.
No.
What if we take this?
Then
and take
yeah.
it there? Okay. Will you do it for a Scooby snack?
Yes, for a Scooby snack.
You do it for
I
a
will
Brooke Hill?
For a Sarah snack, I will do it.
All right, good. Well, hey, folks. Thanks for sticking around through all the spirit hunting and everything.
We hope you enjoyed our list and
yeah.
Get your fest list together. Get your
fest
list
on.
together.
Get your fest on.
For 2025. Figure out where you're going. And I don't know, maybe it could be a good holiday gift.
And we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
How about that? But hey, if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay. Until next time, drink more bourbon.